This is an Ellis Mowers and More small engine repair. Stay connected on Instagram and Facebook at Ellis Mowers and More. Comments or questions? Leave them below or email me, ellis@ellismowers.com. Parts used in today's repair are found using the links in the description below. And as always, like and subscribe for more small engine content. Today's video is going to be a hybrid. It's going to be a small engine repair and a product review here. There's been a company, or I guess an umbrella brand, that has a bunch of different brands on Amazon that I've been trying to collaborate with them for a while now, and finally got one. The store name for this particular company is called CLSR2U, the number 2. They also kind of oversee Bud Rash, YV, and a couple of other Amazon stores. Finally got a carburetor that they had in stock for one item that I can use it for. It's not an exact match, but it's a Tecumseh 3 horsepower horizontal shaft, and this carburetor in particular is a snowblower carburetor. We don't do snowblowers here in North Carolina, but it comes with kind of all of your essentials that you would need for like a snowblower that has like any of your small MTD or Tecumseh Snow King engines, like the 5 horsepower and the 6 horsepower. Should have everything that you need here. You got like the whole shebang: primer bulb, fuel line, fuel filter, shut-off valve, spark plug, and what we're after here, oh, we even got some worm clamps here. One of them's even missing one of the important pieces of it. It happens in manufacturing. But we got some worm clamps here, and then this carburetor. This carburetor is not an exact match to this edger, but I cross-referenced it, and what matters is this is the same and this is the same. Now the difference being here is the choke lever. We might have to pull this butterfly out and change the choke lever on it. We'll see when we install it. But I wanted to thank these guys for sending me this. We're going to try it out on this edger. Everything should work as it should on it. It currently doesn't have the correct carburetor on it. It's got one that actually has like a little diaphragm kit at the bottom of it. I've never seen one like it. But I don't think it's the correct one, because when I looked up the number for this, it was totally different. So I'll put a link to this carburetor as well as the exact replacement carburetor in the description below. But again, you have snow blowers and all that good stuff that will work really well for this. So I just wanted to highlight this before we got started here. Gonna get this thing up elevated on my electronics workbench, or electronics cart, whatever you want to call it. We'll get started on replacing this carburetor in full, in its entirety. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Let's do it, guys. Hope y'all hang with me for as long as it takes here. We're going to start by taking the air filter off. Good thing, this thing's actually in pretty good condition. This edger in particular, this is the model number, 536797521. This is the model number of the Tecumseh engine that I'm putting it on. It's a 143, well, this is actually the Craftsman number for the engine, 143824012. That'll give you exactly what you need if you type it into a search. And then here are the kind of the instructions and operation and all that stuff here. So I just wanted to touch base with that before we get started, and here we go. So a couple of 1/4 inches, we'll get this air filter cover off here. Or I guess that would be the air filter mounting bracket, housing, whatever you want to call it. And that reveals all this. So again, this is not, I don't think, is the right carb on this thing. I got to take the fuel line off up here. Let's do that next. It's pretty brittle. We're going to go ahead and replace it. I don't think I can use the one that they provided me just because it's a little bit different in size. But again, we're putting this on an unconventional application too. So we're going to pull this clip off. Hopefully get, well, we don't necessarily have to get this fuel line off of this carb because we're going to be replacing it. Next order of business, we have to take a couple of 3/8 it looks like, and get, I don't know if I can get an impact around that. We can try. This really is not a hard job, but there's rust and stuff in this inlet. It actually ran. Do I need I need 7/16, don't I? It actually ran in this state. It just leaked gas out. Okay, that's not going to work. So let me get the wrench out. Ooh, this is going to be a bit of a bear. Oh, not too bad. Can't we? So this is a 7/16 we're going to take off here. I'm excited because this actually will clean up really nicely, and I should make decent money off of this machine. I got it in a trade deal. I sold a Toro personal pace. No, a Toro recycler. It wasn't personal pace. It was front wheel drive. Self-propel. Got a little money. Honda HRX 217 mower that you may or may not have already seen on the channel, depending on where it falls in the video lineup. It's probably going to come after this. A bit of a cluster here, y'all. Sorry. Alright, so we got it where we can loosen it with our fingers now, which is good. So that's good. Biggest hurdle getting these nuts off right here. They're home free as soon as we get this done. Whole stud coming out here or what? No. Yeah, it kind of did. That's okay. Should just pop off just like that. Okay. And then there's a linkage. Take it off. We're going to match it up here. As you can see, this will work just fine. Just a little bit of a different mounting method, but should work great. Like I said, I don't think this was the correct carburetor on this anyways. The fuel line is routed a little bit wrong, but we can screw that out a little bit right there, make this work. Just like that, and that should work just fine for us. So that gasket's in good condition back there. Like I said, this thing ran really well before we changed it out. What hole did that go in, if I don't mind asking? It's that big hole right there, and that big hole's in the same spot on this machine, so that's excellent. Oh, I see. So you can access these bolts from the back side. Back here. I forgot that you can do that on a Tecumseh. It's been a while since I've worked on one. But either way, that's how you do it. We're gonna put this in its place. There we go. That's working like it should. Let's get it in its position so that we can put the nuts back on it here. And hopefully this works like it should here. I don't see any reason why it won't. Gotta get this back through the hole here for the screw. That's some tough stuff here, guys. There we are. Put it up, just like that, and a nut. Get it started here. And then we just literally just tighten everything up. Slowly but surely, apparently. I'll save y'all the pain of watching me tighten up these nuts. And once I get to the point where we got it all situated, I'll rejoin you. We'll connect this back, the fuel line. That may be okay. Just got to reach under there a little bit. Push the choke back. Voila. So once I mock up this air filter and whatnot, we should be able to reach under there and pull the choke out and pull it back. So that'll be just fine. I don't know how interchangeable this is going to be. So I'm just going for it to work on an edger like this. So catch you in a second. So now we're at the point, I put the fuel line on. Basically it just cuts you a little piece of fuel line. Fuel line they provide you is a little bit smaller than what you need. So you might have to get a little bit of fuel line. You may be able to make what they have work as well. The rest of it, I got the nuts on the carburetor. The rest of it is pretty straightforward. Just screw this back into the carburetor. You may have a breather tube right there that plugs in. If you do, that's great. So we got that going on, and the air filter is the last thing to do here. We are able to, with this choke setup, we actually are able to get a grip on where the choke is. So the choke goes forward and backward. So forward is choke, backward is off. Forward is choke, backward is off. So that's not too bad. So we basically retrofitted this carburetor on here. Most Tecumseh horizontals are basically the same thing anyways. So nothing crazy. I'm going to get some gas. We're going to throw it in the tank here. I'm going to get it off of the bench here. We're going to see how this machine runs. I think we're going to, hopefully we'll have a good runner here in just a second. So as you can see, I like to call these almost extras whenever they come with the carburetor. The gasket was in good shape. We didn't worry about that. We had these fuel line clamps which we used. I have one left. Didn't really have room for put a fuel filter or a shutoff switch on it. If you have a snowblower or whatever, this is probably going to work great though with primer bulb and all that stuff. So you'll probably need more than that than what I needed on this edger. Like I said, wanted to do this collaboration. Don't have edgers here, or don't have snowblowers. So we're going to see if this edger runs good with this new carburetor on it. Throttle up. Choke in. Yep. And yeah, hold on a second. It's running on idle, not because of the carburetor, but because of a governor spring and linkage issue. So let me sort that out, get it running right. Y'all hear it running. We'll get it running good here in just a second. So remember, I've tried to retrofit this carburetor. Here's the jet that came off of it. So this jet, remember, we're using a carburetor that's actually designed for a snowblower. And snowblowers will generally require more power to run as opposed to an edger. Edgers don't really require all that much power. So I think it was actually getting too much fuel and trying to flood it out. I ended up putting that spark plug in just because I wanted to make sure that I had the correct spark plug for a flathead Tecumseh in there. I think I had like a weed eater carb or something in there. It seems to run better with this carburetor, or with this spark plug. I took the throttle tension, I guess, where's that screw? About right there. I initially had it too high because it was struggling to keep the right throttle, and now I backed it off some, and it's kind of at a good speed for edging. These things don't really rev up that much when it comes to edgers, so I had to remember that and back that off a little bit too. I also put a new blade on it. If y'all remember the True Value buyout that I did, that's one of those blades. Fits right on here, so that was awesome. The other one was pretty worn, so it was worn way down to like right here. So somebody's gonna have a new blade on this, which is gonna be awesome as well. Let me start it up. I have let it set for a minute here, so let's see. Up. Will it start? Could run better, I'm not gonna lie. But then again, these aren't supposed to run at very high speeds either. I think it's still running a tad rich, but it idles down and then it starts right back up. So in all honesty, I can't really complain about it, considering we basically rigged this thing to work on here. Just wanted to see, more of an experiment than anything, guys, but also to show you that you can, number one, retrofit, number two, these carburetors work on other applications besides snowblowers. So there it is, guys. We got this back running again. Again, the other carburetor I don't think was the right carburetor to start with because it had the diaphragm on the bottom. When I looked this engine up, this particular model, it showed a bowl type with a float on it. It ran with the old carburetor, it just leaked gas out because I think the diaphragm was busted or the needle wasn't seating in there in the little, I guess you'd call it a hybrid carb setup because it's kind of like set up like a weed eater, but kind of like a hybrid between a weed eater carburetor and a regular small engine carburetor here. Wanted to thank CLSR2U. These are the guys that sent me this. I'm glad we finally did a collaboration. I've been trying to find products, something that I could use one of their products on for months now. They have a little bit of a selection. Check out their store. I'll put their store in the description below. I'll also put this carburetor in the description below. And if you're actually looking for one that is exactly specific to this engine, I might throw a link down there for that as well. But thank y'all again for watching. This, like I said, worked just fine. We had to do a little bit of tweaking, not a lot of rigging, but just a little bit of tweaking in order to get it to run like it really needed to for us. Again, this carburetor about $14 at the time of doing this, so not too bad. But I want to thank those guys. And we got hopefully some more collaborations going on with them pretty soon. We'll see what we got going on. Thank y'all again. Y'all are really what drive this channel and drive companies to reach out to me so that I can do videos like this. It's not just advertising their product, it's more of a thank you to you all and a thank you to them for reaching out to me and thinking that I'm just more than some guy in his backyard putting together lawnmowers. So Really makes everybody feel good, I guess. Thank you all again for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.